What's poppin', everybody? Welcome back to Rosedale Park, episode 3. Appreciate everybody for rocking with episode 2. If you haven't checked it out, it's on my YouTube page. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell to let you know when I'm dropping and everything. So subscribe for your boy. You feel me? We trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, but ultimately I'm just trying to get a positive message out there and let everybody know what's going on with us. I love everybody, but just a few of these episodes going to be catered to my community, my young black brothers out there. Just trying to give some positive advice, some positive reinforcement. Not even advice, just positive reinforcement, perspective, and let the world know what we got going. And that we're on the come up, man. It's got to get bad before it gets better, and right now we're in a rough spot, man. And just to piggyback off and go ahead and dive in where I was on the last episode talking about education, it's in a weird space right now, and if you're in Texas, it's about to get real spooky. No lie, we're coming up upon a time where education is going to go, and funding for said education is going to go more towards private and charter schools. And a lot of the schools that I may have graduated from, middle schools, high schools, they're going to suffer the most. A lot of public schools are going to suffer, and then especially in inner cities and low-income neighborhoods. So here we are. We're on the brink of it's either going to get worse or it's going to get better, and I'm for the latter. I'm just here to spread some information and maybe come up with some ideas, and I'm looking forward to hearing anything in the audience or from my audience that they have that we can help, man. We can start to cultivate and plant some real solid seeds to watch these young gentlemen grow, and the ladies too, of course. But I feel like women do a lot better of supporting each other, young black women, black professional women, than we do, and I'm that's something that I feel convicted, and I got to hold myself accountable. What am I doing to make some of these epidemics better? Because if I'm not making them better, I'm making them worse. So like I said, just to dive in, I read a scary stat about my African American young male students. 17 to 18% of them since 2022 are reading on a grade level. And on standardized testing, about the same percentage are reading and writing on grade level or higher, a higher proficiency. And I didn't say only, because 17 and 18% of those young black brothers should be celebrated. You guys are doing phenomenal. You're doing what you have to do. How can we bring the other percentage along? Because I know this problem has been, it's been in about every news cycle out, and still there's been no change. There's been no progression but regression, and we have to figure out why. If you can't read, you can't write. If you don't read well, you're not going to be able to write well. It's like the left hand washing the right hand. You have to know how to do one to do the other. And I don't think we're adequately explaining to these young brothers on how important reading is, really, just in the normal world. We're not even saying that you got to pick up a novel and read a novel every couple of days, or you got to be a part book clubs. But I see a lot of my young brothers get into streaming. God bless y'all, man. Y'all are killing the game. I think it's beautiful to see so many, specifically young black brothers, getting real wealth from the streaming game. You're doing something that I don't think I can do. I might step out there and do it, but this is a struggle for me just to do a podcast. So I can't imagine streaming, and y'all are killing the game. So kudos to all my streamers, to all the top streamers out there. And kudos to the parents who are supporting their young kids, their young black boys specifically on starting these channels. Of course, within parameters, giving them structure, guidelines, giving them advice on how to budget and save their money, and eventually teaching them about taxes, which should already be taught in schools, but that's another topic for another day. Under 20% are reading on a grade level or above. That was 4th through 8th graders. I've taught middle school. I've taught a bit of high school. It doesn't get much better in high school. Why? And again, it's not necessarily a desire to read, but you have to know that reading is essential for success. I know there's been plenty of people, you can probably name them, that have gotten rich and can't read. There's far and few in between. My guy, I'm sorry. It's essential that we do the basics in order to succeed, especially us. We have to know how to do this. How are we going to read these contracts and even trust the lawyers we hire if we don't know how to read it ourselves? It's essential. It's essential. It's essential. We have to figure out. And there are programs out there. Shout out to those programs. Reading with a Rapper based out of Houston. I don't know the brother's name, but shout out to him. Shout out to Black Boys Read in Dallas. There's a lot of programs for us, for my community specifically, to initiate and start the engine of improving our reading and reading comprehension skills. But that is a macro level. At a micro level, the parents, I'm not a parent, so it's not me giving advice. But as a teacher, I can see sometimes there's something missing. And it really starts young. How can we help this reading or lack thereof epidemic to improve in a short amount of time? Because in the near future, education is going to look completely different, especially for my community. So I just wanted to give perspective on how we can start that within the home. And again, parents, I'm not criticizing your parenting skills. I'm just here to just show you some things that worked for some parents that I've taught their students and taught their children, and some things that worked for me and my friends growing up. My mom read to me as a little boy, 2, 3, and would have me read back to her. And sometimes it's that simple. If we start them early on looking at the words on a page, maybe not understanding all of them, but the repetition is what important. So it starts there, reading them storybooks, reading to them, reading with them. You being a role model and them seeing you read, giving them and presenting opportunities for them to read to you. Whatever it is. Children are sponges, and I feel like we got so many things, TikTok University, Instagram, that are taking the place of the essential reading block that they need at this early age. Let's not just hand them a tablet. Let's hand them a book and engage with them with that book. And with that, if they don't have that, if you don't have time, which I understand, man, it's hustle and bustle out here, man. Times is real. Everything costs. Everything is more expensive. I get it. Take the time that you have and let's pour into them that reading component. Read to your babies. Read with them. Have them read to you. When they get older, I know they're going to want to, it's natural for them to kind of steer away from education. They start to look at school like a chore rather than something fun. That transition from elementary to middle school. Make sure they they're reading something they're interested in. Graphic novels. Anime is huge. Really dig into to what they like. Anime is huge. Graphic novels, comic books. That also is reading. You know, whatever fantasy they may have. If they like sports, have them get sports magazines, sports articles, sports subscriptions, even online. They love stats. And that way they learn more about something that they like, but you're reading at the same time. This is important. Once you start building that muscle, it becomes second nature. So even if you don't like the story on the standardized test, you can read it and comprehend and answer the questions. And all we want is great scores. It's bad enough that's all we teach throughout the year. But if we teach them the skill early, it's easy. And reading affects your math skills too. People don't believe that. Your science skills, your technology. Reading is a huge pillar in a person's success. And it's going to be a huge pillar in my community's success. Especially raising these young brothers to be men of substance, men of culture, men of high affluence. This is what we want, right? So we pour into them early. Read, give them something to read that's interesting. All right. And I say that it's scary. It's a spooky time because I also saw something where Job Corps is ending. And just to transition, you go from reading to careers, to professionalism, to a job. It doesn't always have to be college, but higher education. These are all things that come next after high school. And your ability to read will prove to be essential to that success. But as I was saying, Job Corps is done. It's finished. It's a shame. And it's scary, man. They provided vocational training, educational opportunities and programs, housing for my community and other communities. But I know plenty of brothers that I grew up with that used Job Corps to get back on their feet after maybe run-ins with the law, maybe not taking high school as serious as they should have. Job Corps was essential. I've seen it change people's lives. So to see it go, we have to start stepping in. And I'm talking to myself. We have to start stepping in and be a gateway, be a resource for our young men out there. You know, these YMs, not YNs. Shout out to the Grits and Eggs podcast that has woken everybody up about using that term. These are young men. They ain't YNs. All right, because if you treat them like YNs, they just gonna feed more into it. All right, let's teach them young men about the trades that are out there that do not include college. And I got some stats for you, man. I got some stats for y'all. African American men. These are for African American men. 6.8 to 8% of plumbers are African American. 8% are electricians. 8% electricians. Black. About 8.25% are HVAC technicians. Your ACs. 12.5 is at the height are chefs. Another trade, another skill. You can eventually be your own man with that skill. 12.5. That's the highest. Then you got your 6% of them. 6% of African American men are mechanics. Not shade tree. Not the guy that can ride around and fix anything. He can be in school. You can really take that further, a master mechanic. In our communities, you know how much money you can make? I'm telling y'all, man. 6% welders. That's a year and a half in training. And you can come out and change the game. Be your own man. 8% roofing and contracting. You do you know how much people have overcharged me of fixing my own house? You can get in that game. It takes building a plan. But before we even get to building a plan, it takes understanding that it's going to be hard, man. I don't care what you do. Man, it's going to be hard, man. There's no way around it. You're going to have to work hard. You're going to have to work long hours. You're going to have to miss. You're going to have to understand FOMO and get over it. You got to get over that, man. You're going to miss out on a lot. But if you get money, if you get knowledge, if you get information that could help you build, you'll get there. The fun will come, and then you have money in your pocket to have more fun. But these are the trades that are out there, and the only one that's over 10% for us is being a chef, and that's only 12.5. 5.6 of us are unemployed. 5% of African American men are unemployed. We ain't working. Ain't none of our tax returns. We borrowing money from women. And I ain't judging nobody. I couldn't live like that. Not when all these opportunities out here. And all these fields have, we under 15% in most of these fields that make some good money. That you can start being an entrepreneur from there. And you can do whatever you want to. You can be your own boss. Everybody want to be a boss, but you got to start somewhere. Build a plan. Build that plan. Find a starting point. And this is for you if you don't want to go to college. If you want to go to college, you know what STEM does. You can get an education. Be a coach. College or no college, build a plan. Find a starting point. Work with purpose. Work with purpose. Work with the understanding that I have a goal in mind. I got somewhere I want to be. And I'm going to miss out on some stuff, but I'm going to gain so much while I'm grinding. You know? Cultivate the space around you that fits your grind. Let's get our own places. With all these trades, you can eventually get your own place. But when you have your own place, other than just keep it clean, make sure you cultivate it for your grind. If you work nights, make sure when you get home, your house fits and massages your psyche. Because it's hard working nights, overnights. I've done it. Make sure your house, your little apartment, 1-bedroom, condo, whatever, it fits and it re-energizes you. When we're grinding, the place we lay our head is important, especially as black men. Because when we living in chaos and your place not clean and it's dirty or it don't fit your grind, that's how we get into anxiety and depression, and we start to feel like it's hopeless. And it being June and men's mental health month. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm extra blackity black, and I love everybody. I want to say that again. But it's men's mental health month, man. We got to focus on that, man. What are we putting around us? Who are we keeping around us? Do they have the same kind of vision? When you're not working, how are you still pouring into yourself? Are you meditating? Are you praying? You know, do you have a faith? That's important. Mind, body, spirit. Denzel said it on The Equalizer. He wasn't lying, man. This is what's important for us. You grind, but when you're not grinding, when you're not working, when you're not getting money, make sure you're pouring into yourself. Mentally, how you sharpening your mind. The game is fine, man. I'm not against my gamers, but throw a book in there every now and again after you get off the game, before you get on the game. 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 pages. Pretty soon you'll read a book in no time. You know, that leisure relaxation, like I said, gaming is cool. Working out. Everybody don't got to hit the weights the same. We all not trying to get boulders. You dig? Make sure you run, you know what I'm saying? Hoop. You know, hit the track. Men do yoga. You know what I'm saying? Like, get out there, be active. You know, take care of your body. Make sure you looking good. Groom. You know, it's past the clothes and the colognes. That's cool, but really pour into yourself. You know, really do that, guys. It's really important because that grind, it's treacherous, man. And sometimes you get lost in it. Especially, you know, we're talking about trades. It doesn't matter what kind of trade it is. It don't matter if you're an accountant. It don't matter if you're an electrician. It don't matter if you're assistant VP. That grind gets tiring. And at times, bad shit's gonna happen. And you're gonna be forced to pivot and refocus. Mind, body, spirit, your environment, your circle. All your circle don't have to be doing the same things, but there has to be the same goal of getting some money legally, staying out the jailhouse. We ain't going to the pen, man. It ain't worth going to the pen. It ain't worth going to the pen. I actually stitched a TikTok. It was a young brother who was an electrician, made $3,000 in 2 weeks working. And was reminding all of us, don't let the scammers and the trappers and so on and so forth fool you. Like you can't get to the money with a trade. Like 9 to 5s ain't worth it. Y'all stop listening to some folk, man. You know what a 9 to 5 do other than keep money in your pocket? It keep you out of trouble. Really, it's grown men, not just as young men, but grown men. It keep you out of trouble. It do, man. And if you meet folks and that they don't respect it, then well, that's up to them, man. Keep those kind of people that don't respect 9 to 5 workers. I don't care. I got plenty of entrepreneur homeboys that respect our other 9 to 5 people like me who work 9 to 5s. That respect each other because we all getting to the dollar. And we staying at the pen. We staying at the graveyard. Black men, we got to stay out the graveyard too, man. Let's focus. Let's really lock in to what benefits us, what feeds us. Because we ain't even got to talk about dating, getting out there trying to find you a little shorty or whatever, because you ain't got yourself right. But when you do, when they know, it don't matter what they know. When you got a plan and you know you got a plan, and you step out there and you, whatever you got, designer or non-designer, and you got your smell good on, man, and you go into the club, to the bar, and you understand, man, I just worked 60 hours at my roofing job. I got a little money in my pocket. I'm budgeting. I got a little whip. It may not be a 7 series, but it's a little whip. I keep them clean. Keep them 10s clean. Keep that inside clean. Keep it smelling good. And you approaching somebody, you already know, man, I'm a catch. What Boosie say? I'm a catch. And I ain't no rapper. I ain't no scammer. I ain't getting no fast money. I'm getting to the bag, though. I'm getting the money. And I'm building. Don't let social media fool. Women love that, man. Women love when you got a profession. You just watch out for one and say, well, how much that make? Don't worry about how much that make. I can treat you. I can show you a good time. And it's deeper than the money. When you start picking these kinds of trades and professions, man, you start structuring your own life. You show yourself discipline. And when you have discipline to not just get on the game after work every day, to feed your mind, body, and soul. You're consistent with self. So, baby girl, I can be consistent with you if I wanted to. If you present that to me, I can be consistent with you because I'm consistent with myself, and it's all positive. It's all progressive. So that's what's important, man. Funny thing you mentioned about the club, man, and I thought it was pretty funny. As a spiritual word had a post about young lady talking about she want DJs to stop playing old songs in the club. She talking about 2010 to 2014 area range songs. Like, I was in college then, so it was some of the best music out. But I think it's funny. She said 5 years or younger is only needs being in the club. That's why I know I don't mean to be in the club, man. I don't need to be in the club. She right, man. This they time, man. The 20 somethings within the last 5 years, this they music. And I'm not gonna be the one to call it trash because I like some of it. But a lot of it ain't club music. Y'all ain't in there dancing. Y'all ain't shaking no tail, fellas. Y'all ain't wibble wobbling that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all not doing nothing. Y'all sitting in the section, sweating, trying to look cute, spending $8,000 on tequila, $8,000 on a tequila bottle that costs you $60. Looking bored. It don't even look like y'all having fun, but maybe that's y'all's version of fun, man. Stunting. I don't know. I know I ain't got no business up in there, to be honest with you, because man, when I was in the club, boy, we was trying not to sweat. Man, we was having a ball. But hey, man, everybody gotta grow. But man, y'all ain't got a record like No Hands. I hear what you're saying, baby, but when No Hands you should drop, say, boy, play with your mama. You won't play with No Hands. When that dropped, it was a problem. It was a problem. Round of a man. Listen, it was a time. It was a time. We had camera phones, but the funny thing was, we wouldn't even worry about them camera phones at the time. We was trying to get by. Boy, let me tell you. Anyway, I ain't gonna keep y'all longer, man. I'm sounding like a preacher up here. We got the NBA Finals coming up. I'm a sports guy, so we got the NBA Finals coming up. OKC versus Indiana. I can't say that I'm not a bit disappointed. Just a little bit. Shout out to the small markets out there. Shout out to the MVP. I think SGA, them going to sweep them boys, man. At best, they'll sweep them with a tie on, gentlemanly. I think it's going to get pretty ugly. But, Pacers might show me something. I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll definitely see. Y'all make sure y'all comment below and see. Tell me who y'all think will win the finals this year, man. I think the Thunder got the best team, and I think it just fell into place for them this year. But we gonna have a little, some game food. I might post, it's my specialty game food. I'll be in the kitchen whipping. You dig? So I might post some of my game food I usually got going. Get some dominoes going. Excuse me. Get some dominoes going, watch the games. We ain't gonna have that many. I'm thinking 4-5. But, like I said, we'll see. I want to leave y'all with a little question, man, a little poll. I'll probably post this on my social media. Y'all follow me on social media, Instagram, TikTok, Scotty V. That be me, man. Follow me, and I got a little question for y'all. Readers and non-readers, male or female, don't matter. What is stopping you from reading if you don't already? Is it no time? Is it nothing interesting to read? Or you just really have no desire? Y'all let me know, man. I'm writing my little manifesto, man. Hopefully drop. I'm gonna stay on myself, man. It's gonna drop real soon. It's just about being consistent with self, like I was saying, man. And you're gonna struggle with that, but you gotta do it, man. So y'all be on the lookout. And just let me know, man, in the poll. Let me know, man. What's stopping you from reading? What would encourage you? Anyway, man, like I said, thanks for stopping by Rosedale Park. Be on the lookout for episode 4. Will be dropping pretty soon, man. As I always say, subscribe, hit that bell, hit me up. Got any links or anything you want me to talk about, man? I appreciate my audience, dog. Y'all be easy, man. Peace.